Hello everyone, I'm Anna Oppenheimer Smith and I'm making this video the night after Thanksgiving. Yesterday I quite enjoyed my turkey, but I didn't cook my turkey because I was invited to a friend's place. So today I decided to compensate for this and make some turkey and invite you on this journey with me. Well, when I say turkey, I actually mean these puppies, because remember, I live in New York, so the full turkey will never fit into my oven, but these guys will, and we will braise them in this. This is a recipe that I found on Whole Foods website, and it looks relatively easy, but let's see how good it is. Alright everyone, I switched to the ceiling camera so you can see what I'm doing. For this recipe you will need 2 turkey drums, and the recipe says it's 1.5 pounds, but mine a little bit more, it's 1.7, but that should be okay, right? Next up are traditional salt and pepper. I have both of them in the grinders. Extra virgin olive oil for searing the turkey. 1 red onion. 1.5 cups of dry red wine. I have a store in my neighborhood and it's kind of a mums and pop store, and they really recommended this one. This is a dry red wine from Italy. $7, and it tastes okay, so I reckon it will be good in turkey. Let's try it out. 4 cups of low sodium chicken or turkey broth. I have this one in my cupboard, so that will have to do for today. Spice wise, it's all very easy. It's just 2 bay leaves. And last but not least, for our turkey, 1/4 cup of cornstarch. To go with our turkey, I decided to make a very simple side of mashed potatoes, and I saw a suggestion on the internet to add Dijon mustard to mashed potato. So let's try this out and see how it goes with our turkey. Equipment wise, it is a relatively easy recipe and it requires only one thing: a Dutch oven. Prep wise, this recipe is very easy. First we will pat dry our turkey legs, and once our turkey legs are dry, we will generously sprinkle them with salt and pepper. And don't forget to do the same for the other side of the leg. Next up, we need to peel and quarter our onion. Here you go, my onion is quartered. I will also cut off the end of the onion so when we cook it, it can break apart easier. And that is that, believe it or not. All our prep is done and we are moving to the stove. Once our Dutch oven is preheated, I will add some olive oil. And now we need to sear our turkey legs in the Dutch oven. Remember, we're not cooking our turkey legs at the moment, we're just searing them to give them some color. So 10 to 12 minutes until they're nice and golden. It has been about 10 minutes and I think this qualifies as nice and golden turkey. Following the recipe, let's take it out. And I put my turkeys on a plate so all the juices will run onto a plate, and then we will put them back when we put our turkey in the oven. Next up, the recipe says to add onion to the same Dutch oven and cook for about 10 minutes until nice and softened. I will start breaking the onion apart as it cooks. The recipe doesn't say to add salt and pepper to my onion, but I think it's a little counterintuitive not to season my veg, so I will add some. I decided to cover my onion and sweat it off this way so all the juices get trapped inside the Dutch oven. Now that my onions are nicely sweated off and they've got color and they smell fantastic, I need to go in with 1.5 cups of dry red wine, 4 cups low sodium chicken broth. For ease of measurement, it turned out to be just 1 full pack of chicken broth. And 2 dry bay leaves. Let's mix it up nicely, while also scraping the fond from the bottom of the pan, because this is where all the flavor is. In the meantime, while the liquid is boiling, I will start an oven. An oven needs to be at 325 degrees, but my oven is a little bit off, so I will start it at 350 degrees. Our braising liquid started boiling, so I turned the heat down, so now it needs to simmer for about 15 minutes so it has a chance to reduce a little bit. Alright, it's been about 15 minutes of simmering and all the flavors in the Dutch oven got a chance to get to know each other. Let's return turkey to the pot. Don't forget to add any juices that dripped off of turkey on the plate. Let's make sure that turkey is nicely covered in braising liquid. Cover the pot. And now it needs to go into an oven at 325 degrees for 1.5 hours. It has been a while and our turkey is 5 minutes away from being done. I have boiled some potatoes, so let's mash them up and add some whole grain Dijon mustard. My potato is a little bit dry, so I decided to add a little bit of olive oil. Alright, mustard goes in. How much? I don't know, but let's start with like a teaspoon. Okay, and mashed potato is done. It has been 90 minutes in the oven at 350 degrees, and my turkey legs came out looking like this. From what I can see, right here and right here, the turkey meat is definitely falling off the bone, so I guess we accomplished that. Let's finish our sauce and then plate and taste it. To finish the sauce, we need to strain all the solids and then add cornstarch to thicken it up. Alrighty, sauce goes back. In the meantime, in the measuring cup, I mixed quarter cup of cornstarch and quarter cup of water, cold water, so just mix them up so they're nice and mixed before they go into the sauce. Okay, I thought it will be hard to mix the two in the beginning, but here it is, nicely mixed. It's actually not as hard. Looks like milk. Next up, we need to add the cornstarch into the sauce and then bring the sauce up to a boil and let it thicken a little bit. As a side note, it is a lot of gravy. It's getting nice and thick, it's getting silky. Let's give it maybe 30 more seconds. And now it's time to plate and see how our turkeys turned out. Alright everyone, it has been a long time, like 3 hours, maybe 2.5 at least, in between searing the turkey, prepping the turkey, and then putting it in the oven, cooking it off, thickening the sauce, and stuff like this, but here is the final product. It is wine-braised turkey leg with gravy, following the recipe from Whole Foods website, complete with mashed potato with whole grain Dijon mustard, the way Sorted Food advised to do on their channel on YouTube. So let's try this bad boy, because after all this cooking, I'm pretty hungry. Mashed potato goes first, just because it's easier for me to eat it. Yeah, this is good mash. Sorted Food, you know your mashed potatoes. I love full grain Dijon mustard, and it gives such a nice flavor to the mash, like a little kick, and also a little bit of texture. It might be more appropriate for winter and fall than for summer. It might be a little bit heavy for summer, but hey, it's amazing mash. Sorted Food, brownie point for you. Now on to turkey. It's moist. It has this aftertaste of wine, a little bit when you know what you braised it in, but other than that, it's just moist, succulent meat. It's a good turkey leg. I highly recommend. And finally, gravy. Let's dip turkey in the gravy, slather it on. Yeah, this is better. When you put that gravy on top of that turkey, it makes it a ton better. It's a great turkey by itself, just a turkey leg, but when you put gravy on top of it, it's a completely new level. It's really good. And there you have it, wine-braised turkey leg, complete with mashed potato with whole grain mustard. It's an amazing recipe. If you want to give it a try, I will leave all the details and all the measurement in the description down below. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and for sticking around for this wonderful recipe. I will see you on the next video.